Okay, so we now join the session on the cyber system and cyber and system security course for today. For today's session, I would like to uh, invite you to join the discussion on the security in the point of view of smart nation aspect atau or point of view of smart in the smart nation. So we will bring the discussion into more big landscape about the security that last week we already discussed the general concept of the security in the in the cyber system. Yeah. Now, one of the form that we can consider uh, as the implementation of the cyber system, which is we call the smart nation, will be one of the objects that we bring to discuss about the concept of the cyber and system security. So why we use this discussion? Because we want to invite you and also want to push you to explore and observe about uh, why the security now become the big aspect on the in the implementation of the cyber system. So hopefully with this discussion, it will bring you to have some very fundamental concept, yeah, about the security in general. Yeah. So like last week we discussed about the security that involving not only just the application and also the data, but also involving the people and then the parties that will be joined with this discussion. Yeah. So that will be the important point. Yeah. So let's start our discussion about why the smart nation is important to consider is one of the point of view on the security. Yeah. So this is the concept, the key concept about the smart nation. Yeah. So I will bring you to discuss with this concept first. Yeah. Of course, we believe that now we are in the digital revolution that push every aspect of the interaction between parties, which is government with citizen, and maybe citizen with citizen, business to business, and also another communications relation is become digital. Yeah. So in this case, because we bring into the digital landscape, of course, we have opportunity to have some value on it or benefit on it, but also in the same time, we have a consequences that we have the increasing number of the risk. Yeah. So in here's, of course, the digital landscape or digital revolution that push the development of the digital technologies that transforming our way of life and then the way of our work and also the work of our play. So it will also involve the risk potential. Yeah. So in here, because we have a risk potential, so in the same time, we need to ensure that the risk should be minimized or in other words should be avoided. Yeah? And but the problem is how we can ensure that the risk in the very limited number, but the goals of the digital revolution is still can achieve in the future or in the fast time. Yeah. So I think we also agree with this point because now we can capture the example around us about it. Yeah. Let's say we now see that like in our country that already have the integrated system on the single identity number, which is we call EKTP, already as exists in several years ago. But unfortunately, we still found that the number that exists in the EKTP is now become a threat in the illegal market. Yeah, because of the data breach that happened in one of the big e-commerce platform maybe last month, maybe several months ago. And then we also found several banks already, transfer and also treat the data of the customer to the loan company or maybe in the financial technology company, and we sometimes we have some of the activity that any communication came to our phone that already know our phone, and then offering a lot of financial credit and etc. So that one of the example that security become more important today. So and we still on the landscape that very very minimized on the risk management and also in the security management, especially in the level of the countries. But in the same time, we also seen that this era, especially in the pandemic era, we see the transformation on the financial industries, like in the bank. Yeah. So like when you are want to open the bank account, for example, in last moment that we need physically uh, go to the bank and then meet with the customer services, and then we fill in the form in manual, and also we need to verify it with the document that we bring together with our presence in the bank. But today we are in the digital banking level now, and then now we can open the account using the application, and then the verification is changed, and then now the identity card just need to take the picture with our face, and then we transfer to the application, and then it will be verified by the bank, and then instantly we will have the bank account. Yeah, so that will be also the different approach on the because of some situation. Yeah. So in here that we can see that because of the transformation, of course, it's like tools. Yeah, it's like technology. So it will have some potential risk and also some security issue on it. Yeah. So we can discuss later about it. So I think you also consider about it. There is some something that can be worse, can be wrong, and then it's make what we call it some opportunity to open the security hole, and also maybe in the case is like data breach, or maybe the data interception, or maybe intrusion can be came to the application and platform. Yeah. So this morning in the news, I think the BSSN, yeah, I think just released that in the range of the January until July in 2020, there is about 7 million cyber attack in Indonesia that came to Indonesia from outside. Yeah. So I think that also the data that we can believe that the security issue that came because of our productivity on the digital platform is also trigger the raising of the attack on the cyber system. So that will be also one of the consequences. Yeah. So it is like like a coin. Yeah. We have a two side. The first side is about services, and then the second side is about security issue. Yeah. So 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 the question is where is the appropriate point for the security that support the smart nation terms. Yeah. So this is like it's same question. Yeah, with the another technology. With let we can say like where is the place of the big data? Where is the place of Internet of Things? Where is the place of blockchain, and also another technology that we can found in the in the industry 4.0 technology landscape. Yeah. So we use this smart nation. Why I'm very interested with this smart nation, because like I mentioned before, this is very complex dimension. Yeah, we bring the people into the smart nation, we bring the community into the smart nation, we bring the economic, the social, and also the culture into the smart nation, and try to reaching into the digital single platform that can work in the very smart way. So in here that we believe that the leading economy will be powered by digital innovation. So the most important thing on the smart nation is we trigger and also we push the development of the digital innovation that produce into the many dimension of life. Yeah. So in the economic now we see the growth of the e-commerce platform. In the political wave we can see the the open platform for data and government data that can be accessed to the public. And then in the health now we have a telemedicine platform and etc. So it was also big things. Yeah. Uh, just a few minutes ago, I joined the meeting and I also on the discussion about to deliver, some society analytics to one of the countries, and then try to develop the platform that can have the analytic about the security issue, but in the very multidimensional security issue. Yeah. So in here's that we try to the smart nation goals is how we give the citizen the best home possible and respond to their different and changing needs. Yeah. So that's also one of the challenge in here. So it's like we drive a car, but the direction will be very dynamics, and then but the weather and then the disruption on the road will be depend on the situation. So in this case, we have a challenge to bring the security into the next level, which is the security that adaptive with the development of the technology and also the adaptive with the situation. So the question is what the form of the security that can be support this current situation. Yeah? So that will be the second option. And of course, because we are in the smart nations term, so I think we cannot avoid and then we cannot ignore that the driver of the driver of the change is always about data and technology. Yeah. So the security itself is not try to steal the money. Yeah. So not try to make the technology stole by one, but by from the parties. Yeah. But the most important thing is how we can capture the data and then we can see the profile and also what happened into another parties that can be used for our beneficiary. Yeah. So sometimes we doesn't need to acquisition the data from another parties, but what we need is to take a look the data, access the data, and then we can use for supporting our own analysis. It's just like football team, yeah, in the Premier League, for example. If the next week I will play with some of the team, so I will send my assistant as MS manager to watch the performance in this week. Yeah. So it will be I didn't need to disrupt about the team, but the most important thing I want to see the current performance and also the current data on the team. Yeah. So in that case, I will have opportunity to uh, to make some strategy and then I can win the match. Yeah. So you can see in the Premier League team. Yeah. For example, the maybe the third or second level quality of the team, it's very easy to beat the top team, yeah, in some case. So I think we can see maybe last week that Brentford can win from the Arsenal. So I think that's also one of the advantages of this one. So I think it's same in the technology. I'm sorry. Even the data even the Google still, monopolize the data of our countries or our citizens, but actually we can also win the competition if we can implement the strategy that support us to win the competition. Yeah. So I think to fight with that is not to compete head to head, yeah, but in my experience, for example, I try to not collect the data like Google, but I will try to collect the data that are very unique and maybe Google doesn't have. So, for example, on the landslide data, yeah, the local landslide data, I think that will not implement it, and then will be cannot win the Google competition. But when I have a local data, so I think the Google doesn't have that data, so I think it will be easy for us to win the competition. So something like that. Yeah. So this is the most important thing that we need to see that data technology will be the driven for the changing, and also will be also the driven of the security issue actually. Yeah, so that would be the nice one. Yeah, and this is the example of the implementation of some of the services, yeah, that maybe in the smart nation we can produce or we can implement. Yeah. So, for example, how we predicting the traffic congestion and car accident. So I think it's also about the society security, avoiding the people from the accident, yeah, or traffic congestions, and then it is about the security too. It's not always about how to survive from the hacker, for example. But the you know the issue about the traffic congestion and car accident is also one of the issue under our security discussion. And then anticipating road, yeah, infrastructure that still under maintenance, yeah, and then replacement need, something like that is also one of the issue. How we deliver the current situation in one district road that now still under construction status. So we need to give the early warning system to the citizen that want to pass that way, for example. So I think that also very important. And secondly is predicting the crime. Yeah, so this is very important. Now I think all the countries, all the cities try to approach this one to build some safer cities. And so this is like, if we can predicting the crime, so I think we can suggesting the optimal police patrol, yeah, to check that potential crime, so we can avoiding before it's happened. And then understanding traffic pattern for planning purposes. So I think that's also very important. So the power of data can be used to support this case. Yeah. And then measuring with whatever new child welfare and police help reduce the harm done to the child, for example, is also very important. And then anticipating water infrastructure failure is also we can as one of our concern on the security, especially when we discuss in this issue. And then now we are is very related, yeah, identifying spreading disease early, yeah. So this is very important. So I think this pandemic is also teach us that the security is not always about breaching the data and also stalling our engine and shut down the engine and so on. But like disease is also one of the enemy of the security. So this identifying this one is very important. And then I see one of the journal that discussing about the correlation between COVID-19 with the security, cyber security raising. Yeah. So that's also one of the maybe example how it's the new landscape of security is occur. Yeah. So this is very interesting too. Listening to social media or public feedback on government relevant topics. Yeah. Now today I think become hot that the community try to express the you know the comment and also the perception on the government related issue with the like gravity, but unfortunately the government do reaction or respond that I think is not productive. Yeah. So that also one of the issue today. So I think is we can we can found that the best approach in the another countries that bring the space to the public to express the the rest the feedback, and then and bring it as positive as way as good as possible. Yeah. So I think if the reaction is like show today, I think it will be counterproductive actually for security issue. So if we write something on the wall and then the government try to dispose the graffiti, I think we will try to bring the image to another world. See, I think it will be not finished. So I think giving the giving the open space to express the feedback, I think is is the best way. Yeah. And then it's also a good logging or checking into various systems in order to quickly find the source of problems. Yeah, it's also important. And then we can see in here preventing cyber attacks by learning what malicious behavior looks like. It can be came from many. We can detect the malicious behavior. It's not only just from the Wireshark or maybe some security tools, network security tools, but we can see from the behavior on the social media, and then or maybe with another sources, and then we do some data analytics, and then we produce some analysis to see its potential to do some malicious behaviors. Yeah. And then enabling self-driving shuttle that could bring passenger to or from transit station is also one of the important things. We can also use the social media to quick notification of emergency situation. I think you can see the rest emergency button, yeah, that establishing by the Facebook. I think is good enough. When tsunami happen or maybe earthquake happen, we can report that we are in the location, and then reported that we are in the safe condition or maybe we have some problem. So it will be help us to identify the emergency situation and deliver some help to that one. And then this is the important point. I think you can see from the public services now become more detailed on the very technical cyber issue. Yeah, identify fraudulent benefit claims. Yeah, so I think the issue of the what we call it fault or maybe some illegal transaction is also one of the important point. Yeah, so it is will be one of the some of the one of the issue today. Yeah, including some another issue on the corruption on the similar with the corruption or something illegal transaction. It's also one of the issue on the cyber security. What when I learned about it, I found some example from the Singapore. They can track, yeah, the financial transaction of the government's leaders, and then it will be identify there is any fraudulence or maybe some illegal transaction that involving the financial aspect or not. If they have, they will be have a warning. If they still continue the process, they will trap by the jail, and then he will go to the court, and then will be assessed by the court. Yeah, so something like that. Yeah. So I think that also one of the new way how we fight the corruption. For example, we fight the some of the fault transaction or illegal transaction. And then the nice one is also uh, quickly compiling and analyzing from the cam, from the CCTV as evidence to see what happened, actually what happened in the current situation. So this is like a lot of things and a lot of open opportunity that cyber security or cyber system security can help and support the implementation of this innovation. So hopefully this explanation bring you to have another perspective, yeah, on the cyber and system security that now become not only technical aspect but also more than that. Yeah. Okay, so that is the example of the issue, and then we go to the how the cyber system see about the component of the smart city. Yeah, so in here that the security that we built into for the smart city, it should be support these agendas. Yeah, so we bring, for example, the smart governance and also smart education. Yeah, so uh, how we can give the secure information, secure environment for the governance and also the education is working properly. For example, so I think like this one of the example, uh, using the Google Meet facilities, yeah, to bring the course and make some online class for you. But we not see that campus have their own platform. So I think that also one of the we. So it's mean that we believe that, and I think it's not only just belief that we you know we are very dependence, our dependencies on the Google services is very high. Yeah, there is no another option, yeah, to securing our discussion. Yeah, so that also important. So what do you think if that the student that came to this class is actually is not in the class actually in the in your SKS, for example? Actually you not take this course, but you have this link and then you just join. And then so that also one of the issue that because we are using the Google Meet, so we let that the person that have the link can join. So but unfortunately we cannot avoid, for example, and ensure which one that actually our student, for example. So that's the issue. So but for that issue, for me, for today, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Everyone, if you have this link, you can join, even you are not student, for example. But how if it's happened for like meeting and then the business meeting and also another session, the private session. So I think that will be also the problem. Yeah. And then the second is smart healthcare. So it is also what the important point, because when the healthcare area bring to the technology, I think we will have the innovation on the, like, for example, telemedicine application and also electronic medical record and so on. But the question is how we bring all the record on the teleconsultation, for example, and also the medical record is secure. Yeah. So that the question. So because if, for example, I send my X-ray file to the doctor through the platform, may I can sure that the doctor will not share to another parties, for example. Yeah. So that also one of the issue. Yeah. So how if if I have some receipt, yeah, from the doctor, medical receipt, yeah, that I can buy a medicine into the pharmacy, for example. Can I open it into to and share to others? Yeah. So that's also the issue. So in here, I think the data that related with the healthcare issue is very critical. So it is very important to securing the data. So that's also we need to, so we now consider that data that information on this case is very fragile for the security issue. And the smart building is also same. I think the issue is same. Yeah, how we can have this support that the building that implement the smart system is also secure. Yeah, especially the building that have their their autonomous system for maintaining the building, like on off the light automatically based on the sensor, open the water pipe if the sensor detect the object and so on. So I think that also one of the important issue. And then the smart mobility is also same, I think, not only just about the autonomous car or some things, but the most important thing is how when the mobility is executed is also secure. Yeah. So like you can see in the overseas, for example, the tram and then also the subway train, for example, is run automatically. So I think that also need a security. Yeah. So what happened if not secure? I think we will maybe will open the opportunity in the accident and also the system is not managed well. Yeah? And then the smart infrastructure, so this is very important too. And then smart technology, and then the smart energy, and then also the smart citizen. So I think the issue is also how we bring the security, especially in the digital literacy about the data is very important in the smart citizens. Yeah, so we can find in the smart in the social media, for example, many of us, many of users just share their content, yeah, without any consideration about security. Maybe like the birthday date, for example. I think that's also security matters. Something like another data is also need to be considered to be security things here. So that's will be one of the concepts. So I think based on this smart city concept, we can see there is dimension of the people security, and then we have governance and education security, healthcare security, building security, mobility security, infrastructure, technology, and also energy security. So in here, we can see that a lot of dimension to discuss on the security aspect on the smart nation. Yeah. So of course, to support the that one, the actually the security issue, yeah, it will collaborate and also will be, will be we do the research and development things using uh, several uh, enabling technology that exists on the smart city. In the smart city, we have opportunity to bring all the data into the open data. Yeah. So when you work about the open data, so in our mind, actually we need to think that open data is not always same with the all access data. Yeah, it's very different. Yeah. So open data is actually bring the access to the source of data in the very standardized security matters here. So we need to identify who will access the data and what the purpose when they use the data, and then the data that also present on the open data is not all the data, but of course the selected data that we all already analyze, that the data that we are try to open is will be used by another parties. Yeah. So in here's that yeah, we I think we need to redesign what the open data concept that involving the security matters here. So because it's not like just like in the drive you give the access to other to everyone that have the link and then you access your data. It's not can be like that. Yeah. So I think you still you need to consider about the the best practice of the security data. And then we also have the living laboratory. So what's mean the living laboratory? Actually, the all the application and services that we use on the smart nation, it will be object of the security. So when, for example, if we have one services for public communication, for example, it will be online and then in the same time will be the object of the attackers to attack that services, yeah, in many reasons. So in the same time, actually, when we have that that attacks data, actually we also learn. what the level of the defense of the application when they have a attacker in this case. Yeah. So if we found some weakness of our system, so I think we will think again, and then we will try to redevelop our system to more better security level. Yeah. So that's mean the living laboratory. So we do some feedback system to ensure that the enhancement of the security on the application, it can be work based on the real case. Yeah. So not only just some experimental things, yeah. But the most important thing is we using the real case to be one of the living laboratory for us. Yeah. And then the second is about the industrials and startup ecosystem. What's mean of this is for bringing the security into very very good level. Yeah, so I think we need to collaborate with the industries. Yeah, because the device and the tools that we bring to deliver the services sometimes is produced by industry. So we need to give the message to industry that they need to produce a product that already standardized on the security and fulfill the specification. Yeah, it's also we can we also have we can collaborate with the startup that have the capabilities to do some security matters. So, for example, in the pen test or maybe in the security assessment analysis, if they have that capabilities, we can collaborate with them and then and help and need help from them to check and also to review what we have in the application, for example. And of course, the most important thing is we also need to consider about the development and also and the progress of the cybersecurity and also data privacy issue. Yeah? So the landscape on the theory and also the technology, we need to be also catch up. Yeah. So it is like security is like a lifestyle. Yeah. So it will be changing every time. So we need to update. Yeah, so that's will be important. Yeah, so for example, we just realized that our cybersecurity is the term is about early 2000s. Yeah, but we are in the 2021, so I think it will be very different. And the second is we also have the computational capabilities and digital inclusion and also cross-border collaboration. So I think security is one of the technology that I need to discuss with the cross-border collaboration. We cannot just exclusive, yeah, but we need to be inclusive. Yeah. Give the opportunity to people to consider about collaboration. Wait a minute, I have a disruption. And so, what the next of the technology that need to be have some discussion on the security? I think I will pause the, uh, the explanation. Yeah, please wait later. Yeah. Okay, I continue the discussion. So in the in the smart city, so we involve the several technology landscape, yeah, for that deliver the smart city services. Yeah, you can see in the here in the presentation that we we work with the with the several technology that commonly we found in our current discussion, yeah, which is like Internet of Things, kemudian and then artificial intelligence and big data that you seen before, analytic and predictive, and then cloud performance management, mobile and wireless devices, sensor, augmented reality, virtual reality, financial technology, and then mobility, autonomous transportation, 3D printing, blockchain, yeah, and then open sources. All this technology and also platform, it's needed to support the smart city. So in another case, in another discussion, all these tools and platform need to be secure. Yeah. So this is will be our discussion next week. Yeah. So what the form of the security in the Internet of Things actually, and then what the form that the artificial intelligence security should be implemented, and then what the secure big data, cloud security. I think that's one of the issue. Mobile and wireless security, and then sensor security, augmented and virtual reality security. So I think it's very important. Financial technology security, and then mobile mobility, autonomous transportation, 3D printing, blockchain is one of the security too, and then the open source technology security. So that will be actually what we want to discuss later on, yeah, and in more detail and then more technical things. Yeah. Hmm. So based on this point, it's also will be one of our discussion, yeah, next week. So next week, I think I will like to bring the opportunity for you. So all of you, I want to ask you to build a group. Yeah, maybe in one group you can consist of three, minimum two, yeah, minimum two until maximum four people for student, and then please select, yeah, at least in one team you uh, you select this the three type of the technology in this slide, yeah. For example, group one will be choose the IoT, AI, and big data, and then please looking for to search on the internet or maybe in the literature. Maybe you can capture some. Maybe I recommended you to find out in the paper conference or maybe in the journal conference that have term in the security, and find out at least in one aspect is that discuss about the Internet of Things security, for example. At least one technology will be you will have one paper, yeah, at least, yeah. If you have two paper, it will be nice. And then please present to me let's next week, yeah, and put in the class, yeah. I will give you some opportunity to give that explanation about the paper that you refer, yeah. So you need to actually it's free for you, the free form of the explanation, but I need you uh, to focus on the what exactly the paper work, and then what how the paper design or maybe manage the security issue on each of this technology. So that will be your task, yeah, for next week, yeah. And if you found same things for artificial intelligence, please bring the presentation also. And then next week you can collect, you can submit the presentation and also the paper that you already collected, yeah. So that will be your challenge to next week, yeah. So based on that, I want to we will discuss more, yeah, about more detail on every single technology that we on the aspect of the security, yeah. So So I also will let you to hopefully uh, there is no group that discuss same technology. So hopefully you can contact with another group and then to make sure that you're not in the same point. So if all the technology will be covered up by the presentation. Hopefully like that one. Yeah. So that will be your agenda for the next week. Yeah. And this is the after we know about the the platform that we need to secure. We need to securing the platform, yeah, which is from the IoT and etc. In the previous slide. But the most important thing is also we bring the security that we use is not only just for securing the platform, but also to give the opportunity and also give some uh, some support for uh, for utilize or and optimize this several schools. Yeah. For example, in the utilization, we need to ensure that our security in the Internet of Things or maybe in the blockchains, it can utilize the power and water and waste management, for example. So and then support the decarbonization, air and outdoor environment quality, especially when we deal with the issue on the climate change. So based on this, we can improve, have in the improvement and also have some regulatory protection. Yeah? And then in the transportation, we can do some intermodals, including traffic control system, and then we increasing the public safety and security. And in the citizenship is also we can improving the engagement, interaction, and self services. Yeah? So that will be the good one. Yeah. So I think based on this our question is for example from the research is how we bring and develop the security method and also the security implementation that also can support and have contribution on this in these schools. Yeah. And sorry, so that will be the important point. But also in the issue of the smart nation, the security is also become like some of the tools for securing the digital economics. Yeah. Jadi so this is like we consider that. What we implement on our security method or maybe strategy for smart nation is to try to maximize and then support the disruption on the business operation. Yeah? So it is like the in this case, yeah, security is don't be obstacle on the acceleration of the digital business transportation. Yeah, sorry, transformation. Yeah. So that will be the challenge. Yeah. So we need to consider that security is not in the in the first place in this matters. Yeah, but it will be in the second matters. So the focus is how the business transformation is happen, and then we will bring the security on it. Yeah. So like you see, like I give the example in the previous explanation is about the digital banking that they have services to open the bank account without any consideration to came physically to the bank, but you just go to the application and then you open the bank account using your digital content, and then after we decide that one, so we try to think what kind of security that we can implement in that application. Yeah, that's why it's very the point is this is very important for us to able to adapt and embrace digitalization. Yeah, and then we can altering the industry structure and redefining rules globally. So that will be the challenge for us. Yeah. And then in the in the government itself, so I think it's become the issue too. So I think we just considered about the time. Yeah. So I think in the Indonesian world, ya, mau tidak mau, is must, ya, that digital to be in the core of the government actually. We need to push the government to consider the decision, to consider about the, the services to the citizen is should be based on the data. We cannot anymore to use some of the kind of the political things, yeah, but also we need to consider about the data. So because it is very important, yeah. So because in the smart nation, the principle of the services is let the citizen have the services first. Yeah. So in this case, we need a lot of data, and then we need to transform the way citizen and business are served. Yeah, this very important point. So I think the digital way will be one of the, I think one of the solution for it. And of course, the security should be there to give the assurance to the parties that will be involved to the services, and also give the opportunity the public to enable the contribute fully to their work. Yeah. So I think that the access will be very important. And this is very important that one of the issue is able to automate work where possible. So I think that will be very important. Yeah. So that's why we need to have some digital government services. Yeah. All the services, all like permission granted, it will be used by the data, by the digital. So we doesn't need, if we open the business, the permission is doesn't need to waiting the officer came to the office and then sign in manual way and so on. So I think that would be very important to see that one. But I think the digital way it can be established if we also consider about how we ensure the security for that processes. Yeah. And then integrate services around citizen and business needs, yeah, and then strengthen integration between policy, operation, and technology. So I think this is also one of the issue on the security. Sometimes the government policy is not comply with the operation and technologies, especially in the security way. Yeah. Sometimes the security issue is become very massive, but unfortunately the policy is still behind. Yeah. So that also one of the issues. So you can see from the Undang-Undang ITE, for example, I think it's obsolete. Yeah, some of the point is not rely anymore with the current state of the technology. So I think that also one of the issue. Yeah, and then we need to catch up the government digital capabilities to push and support the innovation and also co-create with the citizen and businesses. So that's also one of the consideration why security is very important. I think if we want to have a lot of innovation and do some co-creation, but unfortunately the environment is not secure, I think that also will become a disaster. Yeah. So I think our policy, our environment should be secure. Yeah. And also this is like important, the digital society, how to bring the society, it's become like not only just digital society that can only use the platform or social media, etc. But we also have some good digital literation, especially on the data security. Yeah. So I think that's a major issue. Yeah. So we can see that, for example, the people that already have some, some transaction on the platform of the e-commerce, they buy something product and then they capture screenshot that the transaction and then they announce to the public using the Facebook or maybe Twitter. So I think without any some modification. So I think the transaction will be open and then it will be open the security issue in the future. So I think the people need to be pushed that understand about the consequences about this kind of the activities. Yeah. So that would be important. And then this one is very important. This is the end point that our discussion. secure. We want to bring a secure smart nation. Yeah. So in here that cybersecurity and also the data security are key enabler of smart nation. Without this, when you develop a smart nation in many ways, it will be same. It will be it will be same. It will be like in the Indonesian word is jalan di tempat, is steady on the state. Yeah. We are nowhere. Yeah. So that would be consideration. And yeah, and the government and also the another party need to be committed to ensuring the security of every system. Yeah, so that's one. This is the point. And the data that is entrusted to be it by the public. Yeah. So the approach for the secure smart nation is always secure design principle or security by design principle. So this is very important. So we need to think that security in the first place, yeah, in the design. Yeah. And so that's very actually this is our conclusion. Yeah, why we bring the smart nation as one of the issue of security, because we need to secure by design. Yeah. So that's why we can reflect on the experience on the big city in the broad, that we can see when we go there, it's feel like safe. Why? Because all the city planning, city services planning is secure in the first place. Yeah. So that would be different. It's not like secure by accident. So the security will be improved after we have the accident. So that cannot be like that. Yeah. So that this is like important. So the secure design principle need to be adapted to safeguard all the government system against cybersecurity threats. Yeah. So yeah, this is will be give the will be give the assurance that the citizen data will be handled with care. Yeah? So we trust the government, we trust the platform, we trust the system. Yeah, and then protect the data in accordance with the high standard. Yeah? Imposed on the public sector and third-party vendors. So, of course, to give the assurance, we need to consider about the several standards. So, I think after we discuss about the security form based on the paper and journal about the 10 or maybe 15 technology platform that I already show you, we need to consider about, and then we need to learn about several standard that we need to also to understand about that we can implement into the cybersecurity. Because yeah, of course, when we discuss about cybersecurity, it's always about standard. Yeah, so that will be very important. If yeah, the standard will be like the way of life of cybersecurity. Yeah, so that will be important point. Yeah, so based on this slide, I would like to give some headlight that in this case that our the security is not only just security anymore, right? But this is will be what I say is another heart of the cyber system, yeah, which is in smart nation. I think it's also happened in another another example of the smart nation. When we discuss in the financial industry, it would be more tight. Yeah, it would be more, the discussion would be more tight and then more detailed. And then if we discuss about in the big industry, yeah, like oil and gas, it will be very tight. Yeah, so I think it's like no, it is like zero tolerance of threat, yeah, and zero tolerance of error. So everything will be taken to ensure that security on the place, yeah, something like that. So that will be our consideration. Yeah. So I think in that level, the security will become behavior, will become, not only just operate standard operating procedures, yeah, but it's always it's become like behavior for the organization to do some activity. So that will be the good things, yeah. So based on this discussion, I would like to hopefully this discussion can open your mind and then see that yeah, the security is very important as mentioned in this last slide. Yeah. So I repeat again about the you know your your task for next week is you find out about, we will discuss about the tools and platform that enabling the smart city, but you will discuss the form of the security in every technology or platform that support the smart city. So I think that's it for my explanation for today. If you have any question, please you can open your mic, or maybe you can write down in the chat. Okay, please, if you have any question.